It's weird when a game meets up visually with what you actually see when you close your eyes. When I close my eyes, I can see exactly the uniqueness and beauty that this scenery is. It's like an onlook, an insight into my brain and what goes on behind the scene. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I am SocioPsycho and this is Mob Reviews, and today we're going to take a look at Kraven Manor. This is created by Demon Wagon Studios, available for PC, and it is a horror adventure style game. Adventure more in an aspect of sneaking around, walking around a manor, and looking and solving puzzles, but there really isn't much of a story to it. But does it manage to survive in giving a person the heebie-jeebies, and will it be okay as its horror-based theme? And we'll begin by talking about the options menu. Now when we look at the controls of the game, it's very simplistic and very small in what you need to use to activate in getting around the world. So it's definitely nice, even though it's small, but they have the availability to rebind all your keys with ease. That's always appreciated. Now you do have two game modes, regular and nightmare. Nightmare just means that you'll take less hits versus your regular counterpart before dying, and your flashlight is not a sustainable utility. You have timetables and more alone time in the dark. Graphic quality of a game is decent enough. It's not anything that's going to be amazing or blow you away, but it gets the job done, and there's really no issues with graphic quality of a game. It's very simplistic and it does run smoothly in 1920 by 1080 as there are a large variable of screen resolutions. It has been playing at 60 frames per second with no tearing, clipping, or crashing, and have not suffered any problems whatsoever. Now you also have music capability in the game, and the music does a very well done job, and it's very important for a horror game to have good music because not only is it about suspense, but also the build up to suspense. If a danger is lurking or a scene needs to be played out perfectly, it's very important that the atmosphere reflects that, and that way that we do that to help the player feel uneasy is by sound. So music does a really good job in really hitting those tones and making you have a feeling of uneasiness. So when we jump into the game itself, the game is actually very small. Your runtime is about an hour, give or take, depending on your capability to solve puzzles or understand what's going on. Like I said, there's not many puzzles really in the game, and definitely nothing of note or difficulty, so we're not going to talk about that in its own subject matter. And the same thing goes for the story. There is no storyline, it's more of a drop into this manor and try to get out, try to survive. It's not a question of finding out what's happened or finding out who you are or anything else. It's pretty much just get out of the manor alive. That is your goal. And the further you get in through the manor, it does get weird in its aesthetic. The level design gets a little trippy, but it all fits in and it all works. So the story is more of a sideline survive attitude rather than, hey, find out what's going on and find out grandma's backstory. That may be a severe deterrent for a lot of people, but I didn't find the lack of story to actually be a deterrent during playing the game due to how well the level design was. And why the level design was good is due to the horror element. As stated before, you're not going to play this game and have some huge emotional connection and really feel with a character and be tied to it in some story-driven base of, oh wow, that was amazing. But for what it does, the very base concept of you are going to feel spooked, you are going to have a little creepy crawly, perhaps goosebumps or a shiver down your spine, depending on how the atmosphere is as you're going through these different rooms and you're exploring this manor, trying to not die. Very rarely does a game actually be able to pull off a story arc without having a story really attached to it. But all they needed was to say survive, don't die, and just follow your clues to your next destination. So the motion, the direction of the game, instead of trying to be adventurous and find out what's going on and explore the world, it takes it more to a primal nature of I need to survive and I need to get out of here. I don't care about the why, I don't care about the how, I just need to survive. So it plays more on a base instinct upon the player, and it does so in an actual decent way. Now, I'm not somebody who gets scared, and I definitely don't become frightened or given the willies with any sort of ease. But the game definitely had a correct atmosphere of, whoa, what is going on? It prompted you to explore more. It prompted you to continue and luring you in to find out how to get out of a manor. But it never felt as if, oh no, I'm not going down that hallway, screw that. That's your only choice. You go down that hallway to get out of this manor, or hope to get out of this manor, or you just sit in a dark, scary room all by yourself until you hear something creepy and crawly in the room with you. So going down that hallway is the better alternative. So at the end of the day, while this game really isn't all that long, it's about an hour, give or take, the player, and for $2 to $3, I can recommend it. For more than that, not so much, due only because of the time. The level design is done very well. There may be no story or real lore or reason as to why you're there, but you definitely have a sense of urgency of I want to survive and I want to get out of there. The game will definitely creep under your skin and make you feel like, whoa, this is intense, or whoa, I need to keep moving if I want to survive, and I need to figure out these puzzles in order to proceed forward. It is a very small game and very simplistic, but if this game had Oculus Rift capability, I probably would have pooped myself playing it. Not because of some jump scare, because there wasn't any jump scares, but just because the atmosphere was so strong and so wrapping up with you that you get immersed in it, that it'd just be easier to, if you're walking down a hallway, drop a deuce in your pants and keep going rather than just doing a poop dance in the corner and be like, I'm scared. Just poop it out and keep going. And this game definitely gives you that motivation to do it. So ladies and gentlemen, I can recommend this, especially if it's on sale. And I have been SocioPsycho, and this has been Mob Reviews, and I'll see you next time.